Gee, where we're going next is based on a couple guys this regime took. It's brought to us by Game Time. The NFL is back, and honestly, there's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your team. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be a hassle between waiting times, login screens, and prices jumping at checkout. It's frustrating, but that's why I use Game Time, the app that gives you the advantage back to the fans. Game Time is fast, easy, and backed by the Game Time guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best prices, plus all the fees are included. So the price you see is the price you actually pay. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, that's promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. We're going to do this every week of the NFL season. We're going to call it something simple. It's just called the Rookie Report. The Browns have 4 rookies that played significant snaps in their Week 1 loss to Cincinnati. So let's go around the horn, and Bull, we'll start with you. Jason, actually, we'll start with you on Mason Graham because you were there and saw some of the stuff that maybe we weren't able to witness via the TV broadcast. What'd you make of Mason Graham's debut against the Bengals? Then we'll go to Schwesinger, Fannin, and Sampson. We'll start with Mason Graham.
How often are you actually watching him on a play, though?
Yesterday I watched him just because I wanted to see.
Yeah.
So I watched him a fair amount. I talked to Tyvis about this at halftime too, and Tyvis thought the same thing. He got pushed early. He got kind of beat up on that first drive, probably just an acclimation period to playing in the NFL. But by the second half and by the fourth quarter, I thought he was tremendous. And he was every bit as good as Isaiah McGuire and anyone else. I'm not going to play on Myles Garrett's class, but as anyone else who was out there. But that stop, the drive when they pushed Cincinnati back from the 20 to the goal line was the biggest show of force that you could possibly. That was all the defensive line. And yes, Myles gets credit for a ton of that. He got 2 of the sacks on that. But the third down play when they just collapsed on Joe, that was all 4 of them. And that was actually, I thought, and Zach actually pointed this out in the press box, that was a terrific play by Burrow. It may have saved the game for Cincinnati.
It did.
When he was able to, leap out of the end zone.
A safety, there's the difference.
It could have been, we don't know how the rest of the game plays out.
But it was big that he got out.
The awareness of him to realize where he was and where he needed to be and to be able to leapfrog and jump forward enough to get out of the end zone. But, we talked all summer about can the defensive line be the strength of this team. That drive showed you, yes, that it can be. That was the most impressive moment. And I put Mason Graham as part of the reason for that.
Yeah, but G is right ultimately. 90% of that was Myles Garrett.
Of course, yes, but again, go back.
Without Myles Garrett, the Browns' defensive line is not any good. Let's face it. Let's keep it real.
I'm not
ready to
go
that far.
No, it's not any good.
I'm not going that far.
Any good?
Not any good.
Yeah, I'm not going that far.
No, I'm
yet.
not going that far.
I'm
not
with
elite.
you, Jay.
It's not elite.
And Bull, that's a fair question because normally I don't really look at the interior of the defensive line.
Yeah.
But he's a rookie, and I was actually going back and looking at plays, just watching him. So after the play was over, I want to go back and I just want to isolate on him. I thought early on he looked overwhelmed. He looked like the stage was too big for him. It often happens with rookies. I would have given him a C- in the first half. In the second half, I give him an A-. In the second half, and I can't wait to hear your grades because obviously you know what's supposed to be happening at those positions, and I don't. I just thought as much as he looked like he was getting moved and pushed around in the first half, I thought he was doing the moving in the second half. And I'm really excited about what this kid's future is.
That drive should have been the turning point of the game.
It should have been.
Until that point, the Bengals' offensive line was doing good.
They were doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the game just totally turned from there.
Are you agreeing with that?
Yeah, so I think it was a tale of two cities, tale of two halves. I thought the first half, where Mason Graham is going to struggle is, so he played heavier at Michigan. The reason he's playing heavier is because he was taking on a lot more, double teams and trying to two-gap different things, right? When you look at him in Michigan, he's always going to be engaged with a guard or a tackle, and where he really excelled is the fact that he's just really lightning quick. But as you can see, there's not much penetration in this film. It's side to side. You see everything is laterally, right? 2 steps, let me get under here. Here in Jim Schwartz's defense, he's asked to be a penetrator and a upfield pass rush threat, right? But that are 2 different skill sets. So Mason Graham, the first half, I thought what you saw was Cincinnati was like, they came out running the football. I don't think the Browns thought that they was going to come out here with Brown and run the football.
And ran it well.
Ran it well.
Yeah.
Ran it right at him.
And I don't think that the game plan, Jim Shorts thought that was the game plan. And they were coming out hitting him, and he's lost some weight. And I think he struggled getting off blocks when people get hands on him. I think at this weight and the size that he's at, if you go look at him, he as a defensive tackle, you notice he's not a huge, hulking, massive. He's not cut up. He's not
Dexter Lawrence.
He ain't huge. No, he's not that. So when you get hands on him, you can get movement on him. Now, second half, the Cincinnati Bengals started to throw the ball a little more. I thought he got more comfortable. Now, instead of being really double team him like that, he was getting penetration. His best asset is being quick, penetration. His lateral movement is great. The problem is they don't move him laterally like that in this defense. You got to go straight. So, to me, I thought he got more get off, and I thought that the fact that Myles Garrett and the defensive end, Isaiah McGuire, I thought he did a really nice job too. They were able to kind of collapse the pocket a little bit, and now he was getting force up the middle. He was getting a nice little push up the middle. The play that he missed the tackle in the backfield, that wasn't his. That really wasn't. I don't count that. He was on one knee. He just basically beat the guard, got in the hole, and he was trying to go out and make a play. I don't count that against him. He made a nice play that it was in the second half. He kind of engaged, got off the block, got a tackle. It was a 2-yard game, but that's what you want for defense linemen. If you get a 2-yard tackle and the linebacker don't get it, that means you did a pretty good job. I think he did a really nice job more in the second half than whether in the first half. But my question is, our team's going to see that and say, okay, well, we saw what he did second half. Let's see how he goes and fits up with this run play and with these runs. But I think he played much better. If I had to give him a grade, I would give him, some of the run fits in the run game, I would give him a C-. If I was really looking, I could be like, oh, you got the D+ on this. You get moved out the way. They're getting a lot of movement. Second half, I think I gave him a B+. I think a B+ was good. And I think what they might start doing is moving Malik Collins in, that if he's going to be more of a run stopper with the girth, and then move him wide out past the 3 to maybe a 4-eye.
I'd like to see that.
Kick him out to a 4-eye. Now he ain't got to deal with all this. Use his speed, lateral ability. He don't got to deal with the double teams like that. So you saw Shelby Harris rotating a little bit more in on some of the run plays too. So I think Jim Schwartz will get him in a nice little fix, but he'll be all right. He'll be all right as long as they keep getting that pressure from outside. He'll be a solid player. The problem is, and I won't even say it's a problem, some people are going to look at it and say, but that's your 5th pick. And you can afford to do that if you got a stud on the outside. But
what's the learning curve at that position? For quarterback, they always say year 3 is they see the biggest improvement from 2 to 3. What is it at that position?
Well, at that position as a defensive lineman, it's very rare that, especially at defensive tackles, you're not getting sacks anyway. Like, that's why when people talk about, you were yelling and screaming about Mason Graham, I said, I'm not yelling and screaming about Mason Graham. I'm yelling and screaming about the value of the position. When you draft a guy that high, you're looking for a lot of production.
He needs to be a force.
He needs to be a Warren Sapp, a Cortez Kennedy. He needs to be
Aaron Donald.
That at D tackle, that's what you're looking for. What's the other kid you just named?
Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence.
Special players.
But I think his learning curve is, I would like to see him put a little bit more of that man weight on, right?
The muscle.
Right now, he's a man, but what he's going to want to do is he's going to want to get the baby fat off of him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's going to want to lean out, get under a certain body weight. You know how so J.J. Watt was 300. J.J. Watt was a different 300 than that 300. You see what I'm saying? That J.J. Watt is 300 is different.
I got to tell you, from my perspective, let me give you my perspective on something as a Bengals fan for a second. And that's, like, I've watched Myles Garrett play every game of his career. Mm-hmm. And I've watched the Browns often play well against the Bengals. But I think yesterday, it just summed up. I used to say, I don't understand why the Bengals don't play well against the Browns. They play worse against the Browns than every other team. And it should have been so obvious, but it's completely obvious why the Browns play better against the Bengals why they defend the Bengals better than any other team does. I mean, any other team in Joe Burrow's career. And it has nothing to do with Kevin Stefanski. It has this Kevin Stefanski, Zach Taylor thing is nonsense. It has nothing to do with Jim Schwartz. It has nothing to do with quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, defensive backs, linebackers, or defensive tackles. It has to do with one player. It's really that simple. Myles Garrett is the reason why the Browns play better against the Bengals. And Myles Garrett, again, solidified for me personally. Anybody else can believe whatever they want. For all the mini criticisms I've had over the years on Myles Garrett, and they've been few and very minimal, the Bengals offense in the first half looked pretty normal. I mean, they'd scored 2 touchdowns in 3 possessions. Mm-hmm. And I thought they were on their way, honestly. I thought the Bengals were going to score 28, 35 points. I thought they were going to have...
After that first drive, I was with you.
Yeah, and then the second drive they stopped, and the third drive they went right down the field again and scored.
And that was it.
But Myles Garrett on that first drive of the second half said, that's it. That's it. That drive was all him. And the Bengals played scared football the rest of the game. They played scared football. Yeah, certainly Denzel Ward plays a role, and Denzel, we talked about it before, does a great job on Chase. And give Greg Newsome credit. I thought he played the best game.
Yeah,
I thought it was the best game I've ever seen him play.
Greg. Hey,
absolutely.
I thought he was fantastic. I'm not saying nobody gets credit at all. I don't want to. But Myles Garrett, 90%. It was him just saying, that's it. I've taken over this game. Goodbye.
That hit.
And it should have been all about that. If it, but
that hit, we call it running the international highway. They call that texting in stunt. Myles Garrett take 2 steps up. Defensive tackle flashes out. Now Myles Garrett gets a full head of steam coming from the C gap all the way to the A gap. And he comes and
that was unbelievable.
He comes and lays that hit on Joe Burrow. And you can see Joe Burrow. And by the way, Myles Garrett has gotten better at where his body is and not getting penalties, because that usually ends up in a helmet to helmet under the chin, 15 yard. He got all shoulder. And Joe Burrow was laying folded up. I said, oh yeah, this killed that man. He almost
TJ Watt has never done these things to Joe Burrow. Nobody else has. It's only Myles Garrett.
That's Superman.
It's only Myles Garrett, and he is 90% of the reason why, in my opinion, why the Browns, even though the Bengals have won 5 of the last 6, but their offense still hasn't looked sharp in a lot of these games.
They're wasting his best years.
Who?
The Browns.
Yeah.
Oh, the Browns are. Yeah,
like they did Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas has got the gold jacket.
It's unbelievable.
He's going to have the gold. Denzel's going to get a gold jacket, and we had all 3 of these players for a minute together.
Yeah.
And
I thought
that's usually how you win.
Maybe this next crew.
I hate to say this, but I think if how many career sacks does Myles Garrett have right now?
104, I think.
After yesterday, I believe 104. I'll confirm.
104. If he had been a Steeler, like if you had flip-flopped him and TJ Watt, I bet you'd have 130 sacks right
with
now.
104 and a half. 104 and a half.
There is no reasonable person that could think TJ Watt is better than Myles Garrett.
Oh, he's just not.
No chance.
He just can't do. There's a lot of things he can't do that Myles does routinely.
TJ Watt wins a lot on all heart and instinct.
Oh, he's a great player. I'm not saying he's not great.
That's how he wins.
Myles Garrett's just another level.
He's just because for whatever he has in heart and instincts, Myles Garrett got the cheat code because genetically. Did you see how Joe Burrow decided to pull it and run? Now Joe Burrow can move. He's sneaky fast.
He doesn't get caught from behind very often.
Myles Garrett
twice from behind.
Superman.
That one play, I think if he had gotten past Garrett, he would have gotten a first down.
Yeah.
He would have gotten a first down had he not taken it. And Joe he's sneaky athletic, Joe. Yeah, he does not get caught from behind very often. Myles Garrett did it twice.
Look at that. Look at that.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
I put that on my wall.
Here's my fear, though. We talked about this on Friday.
Woo.
He had 100% motor running, high effort, home, season opener, divisional game. What becomes of him when they're 1-7?
Hey, listen.
Guys get worn. When you got no help, guys get worn down. Hopefully there's enough help this year that it doesn't happen.
1-7? Hey, listen. Hey, listen, fella. Big fella, you gave me all you can give me, man. You know what I'm saying? It's 1-7. I understand, big dog.
So that was Mason Graham. Let's keep it rolling with the Browns' second pick, and that is Carson Schwesinger. Bull, I'll let you start with this one because you and I talked yesterday, and you were quite impressed.
It was so funny. At halftime, Aaron and I were watching the game, and I said, I haven't heard Carson Schwesinger's name.
I said the same thing.
He didn't do anything in the first half. Where is this guy? And the second half, when Myles Garrett wasn't making a play, Carson Schwesinger. Felt like he made it. I don't know if all tackles were in the. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know. Seemed like he was involved on every play in the second half.
Yeah.
Just like Mason Graham got better. I thought Schwesinger was great in the second half. Yeah. I was really impressed by how he played. And you hear the guys. You heard Greg Newsome talk about him after the game. Somebody else, I can't remember. One of the other players, I can't draw a blank on who it was, talked to him. And they were like, yeah, this guy's going to be a Pro Bowler. Like, this guy's going to be a special player.
Yeah.
G, you see it too?
Yeah, listen, I tell you what, you know me, for all those people that be watching, see, I'm not no hater. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no hater. When I get more information, you think I'm standing on, nah, Nobody knew about Carson Schwesinger, and I was hot when they drafted him. I'm saying, Carson who? Well, come to find out, the world didn't know about him. His coaches didn't even start him halfway his senior year. You know how good you got to be to get drafted in the second round, and you didn't even play the first few games of your senior year, and you was a walk-on? But listen, he is a late bloomer, and let me tell you something. The play that signifies what he's talking about is, I think it was a third down, and somebody came over the middle. It might have been Brown. Was it Chase Brown? They threw him a little slant pass.
Yes, it was Brown.
And they threw the pass to him, and he said, he saw Carson Schwesinger coming.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, I'm cool on that. He had a couple of plays where he hit somebody, stood him straight up. Yeah, we said it before. I said, yeah, he's going to be one of them dudes where when you look up, it'll be week 15 and be like, guess who's in the top 5 in tackles in the league? Carson Schwesinger. What's unique about him is he's a 3-down linebacker.
Yeah, you love that.
He's a 3. You can't find 3. If you can get you a thumper and a guy that's going to play first and second down, but to find a guy that can take that transition, run sideline to sideline, and still be able to get in deep drops and coverage, he's going to be one of them dudes. So listen, I said, hey, I was upset when they drafted him. Boy, was I wrong on that one, and I'm glad I was, because now you got you a linebacker. Right?
Andrew Berry bad at everything, but elite at picking middle linebackers.
Apparently, Andrew Berry was an undersized linebacker in college. Yeah, right. He was playing the bandit position at 142.
Schwesinger's not undersized, though. And Jason, you pointed this out. He's a big dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's not – I know he plays in the same JOK mold, but he's anything. But he's listed at 6'3", 240. Like – he's not
he's not little. He's saying Andrew Berry was undersized.
Andrew Berry would have been undersized.
No, Andrew.
Sorry.
Oh, you done messed. That was cold. I was going to tell Earl to clip that. You know what I'm saying?
Jason, what did you think of Schwesinger yesterday?
Everything we thought he was going to be.
Yep.
We've said all summer that he's plays with his hair on fire, and fans are going to love him, and I think you saw that. I called him a demon in thigh pads. He was all over the place, particularly in the second half. That's who he is. That's only going to continue. There's reason to believe that this defense is real. And yes, of course, Myles Garrett is a big part of it. Yes, obviously. But Mason Graham, Carson Schwesinger, I thought Isaiah McGuire flashed a little bit yesterday. We still need to see more from Alex Wright. But the pieces are there. The defense, I think, Bull, you and I both said it. This is, would I call this a championship defense? No, not right now. But they're going to be good enough to keep them competitive and keep them in games.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That's exactly what happened.
Especially because when they had a really good defense 2 years ago, they had one player playing at an elite level on all 3 levels of the defense. And if Schwesinger can play at that elite level, that's a lot to ask for a rookie, but I thought it was very promising what he did in game 1. When you have one player, at least one on each level, that could play at a superstar level, an all-pro level, it gives you a chance to have a really good defense.
I agree.
Yeah, which obviously is going to keep him in more games than maybe we thought.
Yep, I agree. He's going to lead the team in tackles. He's going to be top 10 in the league in tackles. He is a perfect example of a guy that you can poke and prod and measure and all of that stuff, but you can't measure heart and desire and effort. And he's 100 in all 3. And that's why he may not have the talent of some of these all-time great linebackers. But at that position, you have to play with your hair on fire. You have to have a nose for the football. You have to want to get in there on every play. And he has that. I think we're going to be applauding this draft pick for the next decade. Hopefully he stays healthy. I love his effort. I love his attitude. I love his heart. Everything about this kid, he's a winner.
I think he's got a ton of talent. I just think it took a while, as G said. I think it took a while to develop.
UCLA looked at him, and they made the mistake of saying, he doesn't jump off the page at you when you look at him.
He's a walk-on. Everybody missed on him.
And then Some of these guys just have so much heart and effort. You watch them go, and they're like, "Oh my God, we can't keep this guy off the field."
It's not even that teams missed on him necessarily. He just bloomed.
Didn't get a chance.
He bloomed when he bloomed.
Yeah.
And not everybody goes at the same time.
Can I say this? I don't. I'll be. Is this Duke a knee jerk? I throw it out there, man. Man, he remind me. He remind me Carson Matthews, bro.
I was going to say he reminds me of Clay Matthews.
He got a little. Clay
Matthews.
He got a little Matthews in him. Like it's kind of. I don't want to say it because they say you stereotyping. He got the blonde hair, but But when it's Clay Matthews. So,
there are characteristics of his game.
At USC, was he not a walk-on?
We're already using.
Or he was not starting.
We're already using all the white guy stereotypes with him anyway, so we might as well compare him to a white linebacker.
But I was going to say that, and I know the long hair and the West Coast and all that.
Right.
To me, it's how he's all over the field. I don't care if the ball goes left or right. That's what Clay did. Clay found the football, and this kid finds the football.
Yeah. Let's get to the next rookie. Jay, start us off. Harold Fannin. I know we talked about him a little earlier,
what can you say?
Another really good performance from a rookie.
What can you say? Exactly what I thought he was going to be. Going all the way back to, what did we want to see happen on draft day? I said I want to see Harold Fannin drafted by the Browns somewhere in the first 3 rounds. I watched him probably 8 or 9 full games last year being a Bowling Green alum. I watched him every chance I could. I watched him very closely against Penn State and Texas A&M in back-to-back weeks, make both of their defenses look like they weren't there. If he didn't go over 100 in both games, he was close. He led all of college football in receptions and yards. This is who I thought he would be. He did not disappoint. And I'm going to tell you this. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This kid has the potential to be one of those 3 or 4 tight ends that everybody knows. I'm not going to throw out any names. We all know who they are.
Gates.
He has the ability to be a take over the game tight end, and there have been times I've been excited about Njoku, but to me, he's going to put up Ozzie Newsome type numbers.
Damn!
I know.
Wow, you're going Hall of Famer after one game.
We got Clay Matthews Jr.
Yeah.
We got Ozzie.
That Kool-Aid is alive and well.
Clip it.
Got the E&J.
Clip it. I didn't feel comfortable going all the way Clay Matthews
you did?
on Schwesinger.
But you went all the way.
Yes, I did. And you know what? Clip this, because I'm telling you, he is going to be a perennial Pro Bowler. He is going to be a difference maker in this offense.
I hope you're
Joe
right.
Flacco loves him some tight ends.
He does.
And you know who he loved more yesterday? Who got more attention?
Fannin.
Yeah.
And that speaks volumes to me, because the relationship and the chemistry that he had in his first go-round with the Browns with Njoku was unbelievable.
I will be curious to see going forward if he gets as many targets. I think the Bengals probably weren't sure. It's week 1. It's a rookie.
They were by halftime.
But I just think in week 1, it's a feel-out. Everybody knows week 1 in the NFL, weird things can happen. I'm not disputing what you're saying. Maybe I am a little bit. I don't know about Ozzie. But I just want to see moving forward. Now that teams have tape of him, and now that teams understand how the Browns are going to deploy him, we'll see if he's as open.
Well, where are all those targets going to go? Like, it's not like they have a million other options.
They got to throw to somebody.
So what Harold Fannin did in that game was eye-popping.
Yeah.
I thought all the rookies played well, but I thought he was the best of the bunch. I gave him an A+ for his performance.
I agree.
Again, it's not common for a tight end in his first NFL game to have a good game, and he did. I mean, that was so impressive to catch 7 to 9 passes. The one drop was a tough play. I know it didn't go anywhere, but they had him in the backfield running the Wildcat. The things you can do with this guy, you can split him out, you can put him in, you can put him in the backfield. I mean, what a talent. Maybe he's going to be Ozzie Newsome. Who the hell knows? After watching him one game, how the hell did he drop so far in the draft? I don't understand.
Here's the other thing, too. The reason why I say that.
Yeah.
When you go back and you look at Ozzie Newsome's career number, his individual numbers, the tight end was a different position then.
Sure.
He and Kellen Winslow were the guys that they ushered in a new era.
Nobody threw to the tight end.
Go back to Mike Ditka played tight end, and Mike Ditka was a pass-catching tight end. But as the game evolved, they started using tight ends more and more and more. In Ozzie Newsome's era, if Ozzie Newsome played today, he'd beat Travis Kelce. He'd be even more than Travis Kelce. Ozzie Newsome never had 90 catches in a season.
Right,
Like,
yeah. Yeah, it was a different era.
I know, and the way we use tight ends today,
Yeah.
all he has to do is catch 6 balls a game, and he breaks Ozzie Newsome's. Ozzie, I think, had 89 receptions twice. That's doable in today's game with the tight end. Now, the thing that you can't predict is longevity, health.
Right,
But
right.
what I'm saying is from a skill set, and I try not to make these comparisons because I almost shut you down on Clay Matthews, even though I thought the same thing. But I had mentioned before the game, I had mentioned to some folks that I have like Ozzie Newsome type expectations out of this kid. That's how good I think he's going to be. And I'm telling you, he is only going to get better.
It seems like a lot of teams missed the boat with him because he did not look like a rookie at all. I mean, he was so impressive
He
out
went
there.
where he was projected. Like,
Yeah.
Dane had him. Where did he go? Third. What pick was he?
I think he was,
64.
which is
I talked
kind
to-
of where he was slotted.
Well,
really,
I talked to Dane before the draft, and I thought Dane told us or me that he could be there in the 4th round for the Browns.
He was the 67th pick.
So it was right around. He didn't fall. That's where he was supposed to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I mean,
I'll tell you this.
he should have got higher. If we'll see. I'm doing what I accuse everybody else of, overreacting to one game.
we've got one game.
But
to-
I
to
was
base
just
this
so
on.
impressed by how he played.
But I mean, it wasn't just the game. In training camp, in the preseason games, going back to, if you watched him against Penn State and Texas A&M, and they were putting their best guys on.
Yeah,
he
I
was
don't know.
chewing those defenses apart.
Right, but it's one game in the NFL, so obviously
No,
we
I
got
know,
to see
but what
more.
I'm saying is, you can't judge a guy from Bowling Green unless I want to see what he does when he's playing elite defenses.
Right.
And he played 2 in back-to-back weeks on the road. Penn State was in trouble in the 4th quarter in that game. Bowling Green played both of those teams close because he had
It was
phenomenal
amazing. It was
games
impressive.
in both. And I want to see what you do against elite college talent to see how you project at the next level.
Let's go.
I
Go,
saw-
Harold Fannin.
I did. Well, he went to the same high school, and for 3 years while he was there, I did color commentary for the team, and he played safety and wide receiver.
Right, he looks like a wide receiver.
He
does.
had 100 yards. He had 100 tackles. He had like 600 yards, 6 touchdowns as a receiver. Now, I was watching him, and I'm like, man, he's big. I'm like, who's this big receiver out there? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So he goes to Bowling Green, and I'm a Matt guy. I'm watching, and I'm like, hey, at Bowling Green, they spoon fed him. I watched the bowl game. And they was like, yeah, we got Harold Fannin Jr., and we're going to just keep giving him the rock.
And every defense they played all year knew that's where it was
and
going.
there was nothing they could do with it. And,
Couldn't stop him.
And he's a little unorthodox, but he has run after catch. What he did to them Big Ten team, what he did to Penn State, at Penn State, he was dominant. At Texas A&M, he was dominant. He was running away from people. Here's the thing. Jason was right about one thing about Stefanski. Right now, if David Njoku and Harold Fannin Jr. is cussing me out of their breath, because you know what one thing about Stefanski is? You play tight end in this offense, you are the focal position. You got the star. They gonna give you everything. Anytime he gets a wildcat touch, and I knew it was coming. The jet reverses with tight end, and I knew it was coming. When he got that, that's all I needed to know. He about to get if he's available in your waiver wires, there's a couple of people you need to pick up. Harold Fannin Jr. and this next guy we're going to talk about. Dylan
I got
Sampson.
him in a few different leagues.
Yeah.
I
Let's talk about Dylan Sampson, another strong performance. But what'd you make of the rookie running back who out-touched Jerome Ford by quite a bit?
I thought he was good. I think the numbers, the yards per carry, are a little misleading. I was surprised at the end of the game when I saw he only averaged 2 yards per carry. I didn't think the Browns blocked very well in the running game. I don't know about you guys. I did not think they blocked particularly well, but he averaged 2.4 yards per carry. Obviously, he made some tremendous plays. They pointed it out on the broadcast. I mean, he made a couple of catches on bad throws by Joe where he grabbed it off the ground. He was clearly the better of the two backs. Jerome Ford looked like absolute garbage.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, Dylan Sampson, when Judkins gets back on the field, which may be this week, he and Sampson, I think, are going to make a pretty nice little 1-2 punch there. I was really impressed. Again, a lot of those carries, I think those are going to go to Judkins. But an occasional carry and as a weapon in the passing game,
that's where I like
it. Was really promising.
Yeah, he really,
I'd give him a nice solid B for that game. Jerome Ford was an F. I mean, he was terrible. But I thought it was another impressive first game for a rookie.
Yeah, the run game wasn't even close to good enough. I think Jerome Ford is a big part of that problem.
I wouldn't play him at all.
I'd
cut him.
I'd be. I don't know if I'd cut him.
Well, Sampson's going to get suspended, or might get suspended.
Judkins.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Judkins might get suspended. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm going to cut Ford, but I'd be
I would.
fine if he doesn't take another carry here anytime soon. I think the run blocking was suspect at times. I think DeJuan Jones really needs to improve in the run blocking. But overall, I think it's more of a back issue than it is the line issue. I just think that Jerome Ford isn't good enough, and Dylan Sampson was a rookie getting his first carries in the NFL. But as a pass catcher out of the backfield, I thought he was terrific, and I think this is how the offense is supposed to look. This is what they're trying to get back to. 2 tight end sets, play action, quick screens. We didn't see – I know this isn't Dylan necessarily. We didn't really see deep shots on third down. I think those will come in time, again, as you're getting back into the offense that Kevin's comfortable calling, and the personnel is built for that type of system. But Dylan is a pass catcher out of the backfield, making things happen on swings and screens. That's why he's here. That's going to continue. And then as a secondary complementary piece to Quinshawn, I agree. Maybe we see Judkins in a limited role sooner than later. He's got to get up to speed on pass protections, on blitz pickups. There's a lot that he missed. I don't think that you can just assume that you can throw him out there for 15, 16 carries right away. So I don't know how much they'd be able to use him. But Sampson can fill that gap in the meantime. I don't think anyone thought of him as the lead ball carrier. I don't think he is. But as a complimentary piece, yeah, he was fine and he will be fine.
Yeah, I didn't. We kind of talked when we kind of picked this on the show. I said it might be uphill battle for the Browns when it comes to the running game. They got to run it better. They got to run it better. Whether I haven't seen all 22 yet, so I'll withhold judgment on whether there was some things, because there could be some things up front, and there's some places and some holes to go, and guys are just not hitting their landmarks to do what they need to do. You know how I feel about Jerome Ford. I've been on record a lot talking about how that is not going to get it done. I'm willing to give Dylan Sampson all his carries, like all his third down touches, all of that. The problem with the Browns is, they basically got the other guy back there. He's a fullback. They got him playing goal line fullback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
They give him dive. I said, Kevin has dusted off the dive play on the goal line. So I think he's more. You know what I thought too? I thought there was one run or one carry that he gave that he broke out of a few tackles. Yeah. He's a smaller guy, but he's more durable than I thought. Maybe he's one of them dudes like Darren Sproles never got hit hard. Guys that are that short and small, but he did a really nice job catching the ball out of the backfield. And you know what too? What I want all of the young rookies to see, it's a good opportunity to see it. I thought what Joe did best was there wasn't very much available in the passing game yesterday, right? But what Joe did, I thought was a nice job was up 1,000, 2,000, check
Balls
the
out.
back. 1,000, 1,000, let me step up a little bit. I'm going to over here. You know what I'm saying? And just let those guys get the football within 1 or 2 yards of the line of scrimmage and move on. I thought Joe did a masterful job of being like, hey, and he knows his own limitations. He's like, look, I'm going to run one time, but there's a couple times we in field goal position, ain't no problem taking a sack. Let's just take the sack within 2 yards or throw the ball out of bounds.
We're about to talk more about Joe, but have you ever seen anybody look slower on him?
On that run? He's a 39 speed man.
They called a quarterback sneak with a 40-year-old man. I thought, oh my God, they're trying to kill this.
Let the record show.
Yeah.
I got to say, after the first 20 minutes or so, you sound a lot like the rest of us.
I'm
just saying.
I know he is.
I'm just saying.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
Hey, listen,
you sound a lot like.
I'm hearing a lot of moral victories.
I'm just saying.
Listen,
It's fair.
that's analysis, G. Bush. Analysis, G. Bush is different.
Knee jerk is different.
Now, if you ask me the overall arching theme, right? If I have a terrible meal at a restaurant, you say, "But how was dessert?" I'm like, man, I had to go through them terrible sides in that steak to get the dessert, but that cheesecake was hitting though. I got right.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
All right, let's talk a little.
But, hold on,
Flacco.
I didn't get my thoughts on.
Oh,
hold on.
Shoot. Sorry,
Yeah,
go.
I liked him a lot in the passing game. I want to throw this caveat out. I think the elixir here, the straw stirring this drink, is the 40-year-old. The one that I wanted to bring back last year. Joe Flacco is a really good quarterback. I know that you guys might push back on that. Joe Flacco reads things better than anybody on our roster, and it's not even close, and he should.
Joe is the next topic, so
Okay.
save that.
Okay.
That's where we're going.
But
Yeah.
it'll take us there perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't know what Sampson looks like without Joe. Because running the ball, he was not good. He just wasn't. I didn't see explosion. I didn't see him running with authority and purpose. Out of the backfield, he looked like a different guy. He looked phenomenal. So I say all of that, as much as I liked him in the passing game, he might well play under a backup quarterback and look invisible out of the backfield. Joe made everybody else look better.
Those players that are tertiary players, third down running backs, second tight ends, guys that'll flash occasionally when you have see Joe Flacco, and we won't go too far into it. I just think Joe Flacco, is he a good quarterback? I think he's a serviceable quarterback, starting level quarterback that has all the answers to the test.